All right, Margaret, now we're going to take a look at your breaststroke, the final view, the last view that we want to look at. And this is a good view to see a lot of strokes from, but especially breaststroke. And as you can see, as you're coming forward, you can see how those arms kind of come inward, and we talked about that on the above view. But you want to be here with the arm, and that's a good elbow bend. But we want the hands to be a little bit wider than what they are. We don't want to be coming back in towards our body. We want to make sure that they're with the elbow, straight with the elbow, or just outside the elbow instead of bending back in. So we want to be a little bit more here or just outside of that, and that's going to just give you a little more power. But that's all set up, and we'll look at this in another second by sweeping out a little bit more with the hands. And then we can see as you recover, we want those hands a little higher towards the surface. You drop that head, and you see your line on the arms is significantly under the surface of the water. So the surface of the water is here, and the hands are down here. You can just see the water is going to be coming towards your head, towards your arms, and it's going to be creating a lot of drag up front. We want those hands up higher to the surface. So they need to be right up here as you reach forward, and that line from the shoulders reaching up towards the surface of the water, trying to stay up there in that streamline instead of having your hands so low. And again, that's dropping the head a little bit too early and then having your hands not quite up on top of the water as you start to recover. And the hands a little too close to the chest as you're starting to recover. Then as you go into the press, okay, good position here with the palms down, and then you can see you don't quite turn the hands sideways. So what we want in terms of breaststroke is we want to actually turn the hand completely. So pinky is at the top part of the line, thumb is at the bottom part of the line, and both hands. So you're turning and you're going to press that water and sweep it out. So your hand position with your palm is going to be pushing the water straight to the side. Okay, and that's what we want to see on both hands. And I kind of said this on the above water side view. When you're in this position and you're pressing slightly down, that's more like what we're trying to do with butterfly. So you're trying to pull your hips and your hand over your hands. Here we're trying to sweep out and create lift. So it's a greater lift and it's greater power in the lift if you sweep the hands out a little bit more. You're kind of pulling straight back. And that's what kind of leads to your hands being inside the elbows as you're pressing yourself forward. Again, from a leverage standpoint, not as much power when you're actually having your hands inside your elbows. They get more if you're outside the elbows. It's a little better leverage point for the arms and the power of your arms. Okay, and then again, we just kind of see the up and down motion as you're coming forward and just turning those hands out a little bit more. We'll talk about that at practice also. And then as you come off the wall, I want to take a quick look at that. Again, great streamline coming off the wall. I really like your streamline into your pull down. Would like to see that dolphin kick happen first. It happens at the back end, which is okay, but it's just not as powerful. And you see you raising that head up early again in terms of the kick out. Keep that head down until those arms go towards the surface and really extend to the surface. And then your kick, one last view of your kick. Again, we can just get a little more foot turn if we get the feet up closer to the hips. So if the feet are up here a little higher, then the feet turn out this way a little bit more. You can just see how they're turned in a little bit on both. And let me erase those lines because those are mess ups. But even on this side, you can just see it's just turned a little bit out. We want more of a turnout, and the way you get that is by having the feet up closer to the hips, and it turns out a little bit more, and you get a little more of a turn, so you're pushing more backwards instead of more circular, so you're kind of pushing out and around instead of pushing straight back. So if we can get the feet up a little higher towards the hips, that'll help that quite a bit. And then finish a kick. Again, just finish a little more together, a little late on the finish of the kick. But overall, I like a lot of things you're doing with your breaststroke. You're thinking a lot about the technical part of it. We just got to change a little bit of the details, and that'll help your breaststroke even faster. I know at the last meet you dropped 3 seconds in the 100 breaths, and I think you're working hard at it. So we're just going to add these other things to it, and you can talk to me at practice about it. But this will be a good mental note for where we want to be.